Hello, and welcome to a brand new episode with your boys, Ricky and Larry, here as we round up week 38 of the Premier League. But before we get into that, Larry, my man, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm glad that it's over because it was a roller coaster ride. But yeah, I'm glad that it's over, man.
You guys were on a high for a while. It must have been a weird roller coaster. It must have been a weird roller coaster.
It was one of those boring ones, like for a long time, and then by the time you get to the end, you get this massive drop, and it's like
It's like that. What's that? Isn't there a roller coaster like that? Obviously, we're going to do an advert for which park is it? Amusement park. There's one called the Oblivion. The ride is called the Oblivion, where you kind of get up, and then you stay, kind of plateaus at the top a little bit, and then it just dangles facing down, and then within seconds you're like, woof, into darkness.
No, I'm not into that. I am not into that.
No, that's how it was.
Therefore, the season was a bit boring, like you said. Not boring. Not. I didn't mean boring. Obviously not.
I was going to say change that poll.
No, it was. By the end, it was just like, I'm glad it's over because it was. That's all I can say about it. We've already discussed everything.
Yeah, we've touched on it. We don't need to touch on that. Yeah,
both of our teams.
Are you happy with today, though? Happy with the way? Not so much just Arsenal, because obviously, you had nothing to play for. Apologies, I don't mean it like that, but, realistically speaking.
We didn't.
But did you watch any of the matches? Did you watch any of the three cup finals that were going on? Leeds, Tottenham, Bournemouth, Everton, and what was the other one? Leicester, Newcastle, West Ham.
Leicester, West Ham. I was following the Leicester, West Ham game, like not watching it. I was following it. Like I was on Flash Scores. Shout out to Flash Scores. You can sponsor us at any time. And so I was obviously just checking up on the matches. But once Tottenham scored, I was like, that usually means they're going to go and do something. And in a game that doesn't matter to anyone, not even Tottenham.
Yeah, they're bound to do something.
They go pull out, like, what was it, 4-1 or something like that? Like, who gives us...
I think so. I think Harry Kane scored 2 and set up 1 as well.
Brilliant. Again, well done. Nice one, Kane. Go to a different club.
Who cares?
Win something, yeah. You literally scored the most pointless goals ever for a team. But look,
they've even missed out on Europe as well because Villa took them over. You know what I mean? Shout out to Villa and Unai Emery. Just before we came on, what were you saying? The stat you hit me with? Where were Villa before? Before Good Evening took him over. Now you can do that as well. So ready? Unai, how you feeling?
Good evening. And obviously they were 17th when he took over.
That's crazy.
And now they're in European places, Europa Conference League. It's. I don't even know what to say. Would you give him the Manager of the Year?
It's tough, like for me, I've always said Manager of the Year goes to whoever wins the league because I always feel that's the hardest to do. And I understand people are going to say, yeah, but City with their squad and City have spent so much and City. You know what I mean? This is me personally. Like I think it's an outstanding achievement. Listen, even what Arteta did was an outstanding achievement. You guys were 5th and to be in 2nd, right? Yeah. I know I don't give you enough credit because I like to chat shit about your team, especially when my team is doing so shit. But anyway, no, for me, Unai Emery's in for a shout. Personally, I give it to Pep, but like a close second would be Emery, Arteta, and what's his name, the boy at Newcastle, the guy who I always call Eddie Hearn. Good old
Eddie Hearn, yeah, Eddie Hearn. Don't forget, a shout out to De Zerbi as well. By the way,
yes, that was the other guy. I agree. Well, no, what they've done is like got European spots. Obviously, came in, sold. At the beginning of the year, you think they sold their best players. Obviously, Cucurella went, Morphy went, Dan Burn went to Newcastle, you know what I mean? So they lost like some players and you think to yourself, are they going to be the same team? But now, man, shout out to... I think as a club, they've done very well. They've really good business, brought in a manager who kind of hit the ground running and continued to score goals, played attractive football. Even Pep Guardiola said what Brighton are doing is amazing because they seem to pass to the right person at the right time.
Yeah.
In the right space. Like those 3 things are so key. That hat trick of things that I just mentioned. Right person, right time, in the right space. Like what? And if Pep is admiring that, then you know what I mean, like that's something to celebrate.
As well, yeah, you got to admire that as well.
For me, I admire it a lot because they came to Stamford Bridge and ran us ragged. Like we thought, here we go, we're doing something, and it's a goal that we scored. We're like, get it in April, and it was a huge deflection.
Literally 2 matches ago, they beat us, and
same at the Emirates. Yeah,
so it's they've been probably the standout team of the season. I mean, I'd give Emery the Manager of the Year, but I'd probably give standout team of the season Brighton because.
That's not a bad shout, yeah. Let's do that now. Yeah, no, I get that. For me, standout for me is Newcastle. I can't believe Newcastle back in Champions League. As a team...
Can I caveat that? Sorry, can I put an asterisk on that real quick?
Go on.
It's the money that they've been injected with. I just feel like that warrants an asterisk for now, because when
I hear what you're saying, but for me, like they haven't spent that much. They have wages. They might spend a lot.
I'm not going to hold that against
Yeah.
No, they don't deserve it. No, they
they've got financial
fair
play that limits them, because if they didn't, they'd do what Chelsea did, what City did originally when they brought Robinho. Yeah, that's right, Robinho. City brought him in, didn't they? When they first got the money, Robinho came from Real Madrid to City, and that's when they were doing. There was no financial fair play. Then they were just like spend as much as you can. Same with Chelsea with Abramovich, anybody, and same with United over the years and so on. But what I mean is, like, financial fair play has limited what they could do. I think they spent 60 million on Isaac. I think they bought Anthony in January transfer window. But when you think about it,
40 million, Bruno Guimaraes for about 50 million.
So they spent about 200, right? Let's say, would you say 250?
I'm saying, yeah, no, that's fine. Like, that's not a lot in comparison. But what I'm saying is, when you compare it to Brighton, who are a team who are churning out talent as well, isn't it? You know what I mean?
I agree with you.
I'm not saying Trossard is like a world beater or anything. No, but he was a regular player, someone who can slot into any team and actually do a job for him, which to me is a good player.
Yeah, no, I think it's fantastic. But for Newcastle, I'm just like the tsunami. I don't know whether it's maybe slightly biased because of the relationship, obviously being Northeast, the Borough, the Newcastle, the Sunderland, and we always want to see that area of the town do well, because he always gets a bad name. Yeah. He gets a very bad rep. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, I'm down here, and you hear them people, Northeast, is that where you're from? And they're like, fuck off, do one dickhead. It's the same as what's his name? Jeff, is it Jeff? I forgot his surname. Who does Soccer Saturday? Who stuck up for Middlesbrough and all the area because they were voted as Stelling. That's it. Yeah, he stuck up for the whole area live on TV, because some report came out that it's the most deprived and the roughest area in the UK. And it's not. And that's what I mean. So I'm happy for them to do well.
By the way, written by people who've never been here. So
exactly,
it's just wrong.
But anyway, team of the thing for me is Newcastle.
I agree with what you're saying about the Northeast thing, and obviously nothing would, sort of pleasure me more, if you will, in that sense. But then now you understand why I would give it to Brighton. How strong
exactly how you say it for Brighton. It's fun. But it's difficult as well, because think about what Villa did as well, from 17th to 7.
Yeah.
Like, wow, like what?
That's why.
And Arsenal as well. Like, look, you added 2 players, and look at what you've done to the team. And okay, you added 4 players, including January, but before January, you were top of the league and so on without Jorginho and Trossard. So it's difficult. And then the big one is the juggernaut up top that's kind of pulled his team all the way to the 2 finals and
3 finals. Well, 2. Sorry, of course, Premier League, isn't it?
Yeah, won a trophy as well. So what I'm trying to, do you know what I mean? It's hard. It's been a wonderful, wonderful Premier League. And then as well, what I also like to looks amazing is Fulham. They look at what Fulham have achieved. Top half finish, Brentford as well.
Yeah.
It's insane. Like, it's just so hard to pick, and I'm glad we're not the ones who have to pick the awards. But obviously, we can give our opinion on the matter.
But people say, obviously, the Premier League is turning into a bit of a farmers' league. But when you think about it, this is probably the most exciting league that there is, because of what you just said.
That's it.
And to add on top of that, which I know no team wants to ever do this, but the relegation battles become interesting as well. Like today's, there was a couple of games that literally mattered to 3-4 different teams, and they were in the hands of someone else. It's
3 finals. That's it. Like, I couldn't believe for Leicester they were winning 2-0 and they were cheering, but obviously their faith was in the hands of Everton and Bournemouth, depending on what Bournemouth did, which they did nothing. And you know what? Personally, I'm happy for Everton, only because I've got a friend of mine and I know he listens. So shout out to you, Paul. You know who you are.
Yeah.
But because of you, I've started to like Everton.
Nope.
Because he's a pal of mine.
I'm still not there. I'm afraid. No,
you've got nothing for Everton.
No, not really. No, I'm more on the Liverpool side, so I can't really talk about.
The thing is with Liverpool, Liverpool are always going to be that. Do you know what I mean? Liverpool will always be the better team in Merseyside, because
we'll chop that out. We'll chop that out.
You're going to chop that out, yeah?
We want a listener. You're not talking about. No, but you're absolutely right. That's fair. I mean, look, I couldn't imagine Everton dropping down to to the Championship. It just doesn't feel right, does it? Seeing Everton in the Championship doesn't feel right. So I think that's why that also we want as well.
Is that we want that Merseyside derby in the Prem, don't we? Like, rather than wait if it falls on the FA Cup or something, if they're in the Championships. Yeah, I mean, it's incredible having those
classic. That's almost like a AC Milan versus Inter derby.
Yeah, that's it. And then they're not that far apart. The 2 grounds are really not that far apart. They're really, really close. So it's amazing.
If the Italians had some money, they'd have a second stadium, but they don't have any money. So it is what it is. Shout out to Italy, by the way. We love you. We love you always. But okay, all
always.
Right.
Sometimes.
But when we go on there on holiday.
When we go there on holiday. Not when you beat the national team on penalties.
And when they don't give us any votes on the Eurovision, it just doesn't, you know what I mean? Like, come on now, give us a vote at least.
Help us out.
With neighbours and shit. But, okay, fair enough. So, standout teams, that's an interesting one. Obviously, Newcastle, Brighton, that's two different points. Obviously, this, for the listeners, by the way, this has not been rehearsed. We do not write this down.
No, this hasn't. This is just straight up, fresh.
We said to each other at the beginning, like, all right, so we're going to talk about this. All right, cool. And we literally haven't. Man.
This is freestyle. This is freestyle. You are witnessing greatness.
We literally haven't. Okay. What about maybe like a standout player then? Anyone apart from the Haaland?
Apart from the main, yeah.
Anyone that you think, yeah, all right, do you know what? He's been good, like consistently.
Well, nobody from West London. Obviously, from my side of West London. It hurts me to say that, but it really, really nobody from my team. To be honest with you, it's hard because there have been players who've had a really good first half of the season, so before Christmas, and there have been players who've had a very good second half of the season. And there's been one who's been consistent throughout, obviously. But what I'd like to, a big shout out, and I think it is as well, it kind of overshadows because of what Haaland has achieved, is Harry Kane goals in that Tottenham team. I don't know how he's getting 23, 24. I don't even know how many goals he's on.
Underappreciated trophy. I like that. I like that.
I love the way he did that, man. That's all. He didn't write that down either.
That's not even written down.
So he's got 30 goals. Harry Kane has got 30 goals this season. And that is like, obviously we've talked about
enough. It's not talked about enough. You're right. I agree.
And in that Tottenham team as well, like who struggle so much to even kind of, it's just, and listen, if Harry Kane was at a Chelsea team this year, not Chelsea, okay, if he was at Man United or if he was at Arsenal this year, he would have bagged in like similar to Haaland, I think, as well, because a team who plays for the striker, but they try to play for Harry Kane, but they just can't get through the motions. And I think of that Antonio Conte system, 5 at the back, 3 and then Harry Kane up top. It's just like, what is going on there? Do you know what I mean? So yeah, so for Harry Kane, for me, other than Haaland obviously has been amazing. He's broke all the records. He's fantastic. But apart from Haaland, who else? Obviously, without being the obvious one, for me would go to Harry Kane. And also, I'd like to give a shout out to Trips as well. Kieran Trippier for Newcastle. Everybody thought he went there for the money. What's he doing? He's been 18 months ago, and now look at him now.
And you called it,
League captain Newcastle.
You called it maybe a few months back when we were talking about the England squad. Oh, sorry, not the England squad. About like potential best right backs in the league right now. Oh, left back. Is he right back? Right back, isn't it? Yeah. And obviously, I was like, oh, maybe Ben White. He's been, obviously, because he's been good. He's been consistent, Ben White. A couple of games here and there. But you're right. When you think about it, Trippier has actually been almost like the cornerstone of the Newcastle team this season. And I think he's done brilliant. And I have more respect for him. I'll be honest with you. You know, when he was at Tottenham, it was like, meh, whatever. It is what it is. Maybe you weren't utilised properly. But, you know, I just feel with Newcastle, he's done a brilliant job, and yeah, he'll definitely sort of.
And he's been amazing.
He'll be awarded he will. England squad as well.
He'll be in England. Yeah, exactly. He's a regular in the England squad. Kyle Walker will probably depends on the system that they're playing against. But for me, Trips has been honestly like he's been. Harry Kane is my first option. Then Kieran Trippier would be second. And even in FPL, you know, like we play Fantasy Football League, and what do you call it? I owe you money because you won that, rightly fair and square. And I say this on record. And by the way, I'm going to come up. I'm going to come and see you. So it'll be a crisp. I'll give you a crispy note instead of like bank transfer.
We'll take a picture of that. We'll post it on the on our
Twitter. Yes, do it. Love that.
We'll hide the cereal for no. Why did I say that? We'll chop it out. We'll chop it out. No. I was going to say something, but then I just incriminated myself in something that incriminated. But no, that's fair with the players. I was going to say for me, I would say Odegaard because I just not because I'm an Arsenal fan, but I just think
no, not because you're an Arsenal fan. No.
Definitely. Haaland would definitely be the top one. I'm talking about. I'm trying to choose something else.
Close second, though, like a second, not even close second.
Do you know what? I'll even move away from him. Someone who has actually really impressed me, probably like a Jacob Ramsey. He's been very good, like especially after Emery took over. I just think he's been a very good player, very consistent player.
Yeah.
So maybe someone like that again, away from the apparent.
Well, he was consistent, wasn't he? So was McAllister at Brighton, Watkins up there up top as well. Ivan Toney before obviously he got shambled with 8 million. I mean, he was very good. He got 20 goals. Yeah,
asterisk on Toney. Asterisk.
Yeah, but yeah.
I was going to say someone from like the other teams apart from the top two, you're right. Maybe like an Ollie Watkins would, that's a good shot because he was a lot of goals and he was not carrying Aston Villa obviously because they've had a good team, but. Yeah, I think
it goes to show that what good management does. Like, think of no disrespect to Stevie Gerrard. Like, he did very well at Rangers. He kept them up, and then he did very well. He did his best what he could with the team. And I know he invested well, but the player got injured out for the season. The player that he brought in for pre-season. So then, but it just goes to show good coaching, good ideas, good tactics, what they can do. Because look at them now, like. From that position. And it just makes me think sometimes I look, and I'm going to bring it to my team very briefly, is what could good coaching do with the players that we have?
Yeah.
Because you saw the game against Man United in midweek, and I've got your meme as well. Our expectations were low, but come on. Right? And it literally was that. Like, literally, that meme, everybody, that was the meme for all Chelsea fan and everybody else probably who was watching that game who wanted Chelsea to beat Man United. But
sorry, real quick on the memes, by the way, there was another one that said something about like Man United celebrating that they beat Chelsea, and then a Chelsea fan going, "Mate, there's nothing special."
We lose to everyone. There's nothing special beating us. We lose to everybody. No, but my favourite meme to shed was the Tupac one. If Tupac was shot by Havertz and Mudryk, that was hilarious. I love that. I know a version of Tupac. If Mudryk and Havertz were the shooters, this is Tupac.
All day enjoying his life. Brilliant. That cracked me up so much. I thought, this has to be shared. But
I loved that. When I saw that, I was like, that's hilarious. Because it was true. Like, you saw the chances that they missed. But what I was trying to say is, like, just good coaching. Just good coaching does that to people. And same with Daishi. Look at what Daishi did. Brought them. Lampard got sacked from Everton, and it was clear. Like, I was talking to the Everton fan, and he said, like, there was no organisation at the back. Look at Chelsea now; there is zero organisation at the back for Chelsea, and it just goes down. If you have good manager, good coaching, good tactics, you could do something.
I feel like Lampard.
Good evening.
Yeah, well, he would.
Good evening. Did it?
Yeah, he did it. He really did. I think if Lampard carries on any longer with this. With these shenanigans of trying to be a manager, I feel like he's going to taint his own reputation and legacy.
No, I agree.
Which is sad. But again, he's done it to such an extent where, again, you don't know your club. You look around the dressing room like, who are these people? Like, you know what I mean? When you again, I know I'm sort of a bit over exaggerating because you know who the players are, but. There's so many new faces, even staff and stuff like that, like around the building, around the whole training center.
Everything is new apart from the bricks.
Exactly, and that's not how you restart a team. That's not how you can't just inject new, fresh players without getting rid of some of the old mentality.
It's not even the players, though, is it? Like, since we're on the topic, everything is new. Like, you shouldn't change the whole business from top to bottom. If you get a new owner, trying to keep some people, somebody in some positions who are familiar, like I don't know, not the manager. Well, manager should have been an ideal one because the manager was a winner for Chelsea, so keep a manager in, right? But the next thing is, don't change the physios, don't change the backroom stuff like that, like all the chefs and the cooks, and thinking like, no, I'm going to bring my own people and so on. Anyway, like I don't know if he's gone to that extent, but he's definitely got rid of physios and sporting director, and there's no Peter Cech there anymore as well, and there's Paulo Ferreira. I don't even think he's there anymore, and he was in charge of looking after academy players. So it's just like little things like this. There's so much has changed that nobody knows what is happening at Chelsea. But the other thing I think it might have gone against us, apart from the 600 million things that have gone against us, is I know, right?
Ouch, with the burns tonight.
It's the announcement of the new manager while Lampard was in charge, and part of me makes me think, is he just like, fuck it? But then the other part of me thinks he's not applying the fuck it attitude, because he's got to continue to improve his resume. He's got to continue to improve his CV if he wants another job in the Premier League. But after what he did at Everton defensively, there was zero organisation. Come to Chelsea, we struggled to score and concede easily. Exactly what Everton were doing. That's what found Everton in the trouble that they were in, because the season's over now. So it just makes me think.
He's actually ruined two teams in two different halves of the season.
He's ruined two teams in two halves of the season, yes.
What an incredible achievement.
Because against Potter, we weren't conceding as easy. We were a bit more difficult to beat. We were drawing a lot of games, or we would lose 1-0. But now they seem to look today. Anthony Gordon scored in the 9th minute. It's just, we went to Man United and they just walked through with zero defensive organisation.
They definitely checked out by that point.
The players have gone. The players are thinking, you know what? Let's see what the new manager brings in. But for me, if he comes in, I like this. ideas. I want to see some ideas. I want to see some tactics. I want to see what is he going to try and do with these Chelsea players. Because ability-wise, they've got it. They just need some organisation. Very quickly, what I mean by the organisation is, and some belief in communicating. Anthony Gordon ran past Ruben Loftus-Cheek today. Ruben Loftus-Cheek went to mark the man that Thiago Silva was marking, which was Isaac, and then looked at each other, being like, well, who's marking him? Nobody had an idea who. He ran past you, bro. He's yours. Like, you are. There was nothing, man. There was nothing. It was really, really poor. Really, really poor. There is some positives. Again, like thinking next year, Todd Bowley taking a step back, new manager coming in, let's say like more of an established manager in the Premier League. Apparently he can do something. We'll see what he can do. But it can't get any worse than this. Anything worse than this will be in Championship. Let's face it, like, because Chelsea Football Club should not be 13th or 12th, wherever we are now.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's hard to take. It's been an awful season for us. It's been very painful to be a Chelsea fan.
Real quick, because we're gonna definitely touch on that like a little bit more in sort of detail on how Chelsea could potentially go forward, and with Pochettino being sort of confirmed, right? Confirmed. I think
he's confirmed. Yeah, he's been confirmed. Now he's been confirmed.
So we'll come back to that real quick. So give me real quick. Apart from Man City, then who would you say the sort of best team of the season? Like, actual team. I don't mean individual players to make up a team. I mean best team of the season. You don't have to obviously.
Apart from Cities, it's for me. I'm not even going down the table, but it pains me to say this, but it'll have to be you boys. Like, your team was fantastic. Although I've trashed on you a little bit, I think rightly so, because tactically you look like very much sometimes very one dimension.
Yeah.
But what you did this season was outstanding. Like, it was incredible. That's why I kept giving you so much shit about bottling it, because honestly, I did not see City catching you up when you were 8 points ahead.
Yeah, we were 11.
I was like, was it 11? Oh, right, okay. Well, I'll stick to 8.
That's even worse.
Yeah, and that's why I was like,
say that. Well, I'll chop it.
It pained me to say this. I was constantly saying like, no, don't chop it, leave it in. It pained me to say this, and I was like, these bastards are going to actually do it. And the thing is, we won the title, but you guys were never as bad as we are. Does that make sense? So you still had something to cheer about. You were maybe winning. You were winning.
Had Europe, kind of.
You had something, right? But you were winning matches and enjoying your weekend at some point, regardless of what my team was doing.
3 weekends. Whereas this year, 3 weekends a year, we are literally the British summer of the football world.
Yeah, like you're prime Barcelona. But no, for me, to answer your question, it's got to be Arsenal. Arsenal team was fantastic. It was amazing, and still is amazing. I've talked about where you've gone wrong. I talked about possibly changing a few things. Maybe you could have brought a striker in to kind of do that long ball when you're chasing the game in the last 2 minutes against Southampton if you're 3-3. But second best team is Arsenal.
I would definitely say, if you're not including City, then definitely Arsenal. But because I'm an Arsenal fan, if I weren't allowed to say Arsenal, I'd probably say Newcastle. Like, the sort of
Newcastle and again, I'm not going off the table like a Newcastle third, fourth, but Newcastle would be there as well with all their players.
Because when you look at Man United, for example, they're fourth, but I wouldn't say they've been the fourth best team in the league this season. No, do you know what I mean? Like Brighton, Aston Villa, they've been a lot better than Man United.
Correction, Man United are third, Newcastle fourth, because Newcastle drew. And Man United won today 4-1.
Either way, that's irrelevant.
Doesn't matter.
Okay, there you go then. Like, Man United have not really been a top 3 team this season.
No, not at all.
You know what I mean? Like, a Brighton have been a better team. Obviously, it is what it is with the point. That's fine. I'm saying as a football and sort of, watching the football and enjoying it. You look at Brighton, you think, oh, they're actually a brilliant team to watch. Some Man United games, you wanted to like take your eyes out. Because what is Ten Hag doing? What is Anthony doing? Why is he doing Michael Flatley stuff?
It's him, and it's also Bruno. Like, I saw that one when they were playing against Aston Villa. He ran into the defender and then just threw himself to the ground. It just makes me angry sometimes watching him. Yeah, but no, for me, I agree with you. Like, those teams have been better. Those teams have been better to watch anyway. Like, we're giving our opinions, but them teams have been better to watch. Is there a reason why you're giving me a wave?
Sorry, no, because my screen cut out, so I just thought I'd give you a wave just in case you'd be like, oh, you've gone, but no, that's fine.
Oh, right, okay. So maybe cut this bit. Or leave it in.
We'll leave it in. That's fine. And nothing being chopped from this podcast, ladies and gentlemen.
This is raw.
This is as raw as you get. You know what I mean? We'll put some voice effects if you want, but that's as far as it goes.
Unscripted
stuff.
That's the title.
That's it. The end. Unscripted. A story by Ricky and Larry.
Now, so who's your players, Ben? Who are you going to give like kind of like your players? Apart from Haaland, you said Odegaard, but if you somebody not from your team. So in case the listeners are thinking biased, you went Jake Ramsey, didn't you? Jalen Ramsey, Jacob Ramsey.
Jacob Ramsey, I think he's been really good. Either him or Ollie Watkins.
Would you like to see him in a national team?
Jacob Ramsey, possibly. I think he could. No. I don't think he's at that level. I don't think he's at that level to sort of be at an Arsenal team.
So what level is it? Like what's that? So I'm assuming that level is elite.
Yeah.
So where's he at?
He's at the Aston Villa level for sure.
He's seventh, bro. He's at the 7th level.
Good. Hey, if there's a 7th floor, he's on the 7th floor, bro. That's where he's at.
Not second, bro. He's not at the penthouse yet.
No,
but he's there.
He's got time. He's still a young player, so that's always a good thing. Obviously,
no, I agree. I'm chatting shit, but no, he's a very good player. He's a very, very good player. As long as he maintains a good head on him. But I've got a question for you. Speaking of good head, because this is unscripted and it's going here, there, and everywhere. Saka on 350.
Do we need to censor this? By the way, do we need to censor this? Because you said going on. Speaking of head, do we need to censor this?
No, this does not need to get censored into it. But listen, Saka on 350 grand a week. What's your views on that, my man? At 22, 21, how old is he? 19? Is he still 18, by the way? Because I don't even know how old he is. Like, this guy seems to be ageless. I know they say black doesn't crack, but my guy is like looking younger each time, playing incredible football, but 350 grand a week?
Bro, this guy, right? Honestly, even at the age of 65, he's just going to look exactly the same. He's just, I don't understand. How old is he? Is he still 18?
Literally, I still don't know. I
think he's still 18 or something. I don't know what's going on. But look, 350 grand a week. I've made my feelings known a little bit in the group because I personally, I don't think that's right to give him that sort of money at that age when realistically he hasn't proven anything. Like, you know what I mean? Winning wise, we shit on Harry Kane all the time. You know what I'm saying? Because he hasn't won anything, and he's a good player. You can't deny that. But you can technically do the same with Saka. Oh, but he's only been like properly for 2 years, 3 years. All right, but that's still 3 years at the elite level. It's not like he's coming up through the ranks, mate. He's at the elite now. Now he gets sort of what is it? He gets
compared.
That's the word. I don't know why.
That's why we're together, bro. That's why we're here.
He gets compared
together, not together, but co-hosts.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, together but afar. Love it. So that's why now obviously he has to get compared to the elite. He can't still be like, he's still a great academy player. Nah, forget that. He's got the number 7 now for Arsenal. He's played 38 games and in two consecutive seasons, and that's a, you know what I mean? So I just don't think 350 grand is, maybe that's including bonuses after so many goals. I don't know, but
no, that's 350 grand base. Like, that's 15 million a year standard salary. In a way, like, I'm trying to look at from both points of view, because that's what we do here. We looked at pros and cons. Yeah. Are they giving him that money to kind of keep the Man Cities away, keep Real Madrid away, keep Barca away, so he can have a 4-year contract? So if you want to come and get him, he's going to cost you 15 million a year. Young lad, probably 150 million. Do you know what I mean? Something like ridiculous. Yeah. Especially if City come. If Barca come or Real come, he'll probably go for 80, 90. But City need English players. They'll probably slap a 150 on him. Yeah. Easily. Secondly, so the negative things, and everybody's talking. Another positive is, they're all saying how down to earth he is. He's such a nice family man. He's not one of these guys to do this and so on. Okay, that's fine. He didn't do those things when he was on 80 grand a week. 350 is a different story.
Yeah, just wanted that money, man.
In 2 years' time, if he has another season like he did today, like 2 consecutive seasons similar to the one that he had where he's scoring, assisting, fell off a little bit but then picked it back up. You know better because you watched every single game. But then in 2 years' time, he'll demand 450 to 500. And then at 25, I guess we are heading towards seeing the player who's going to make £1 million a week. Of course we are, because that's the way football's going at the minute. It's crazy amount of fees, crazy amount of wages. But for a 25-year-old, 24-year-old, 19, however old he is now, at 2-3 years old,
I think,
whatever he is, because he just finished his GCSEs.
That's it.
Oh, revising for him. It's going to be crazy. He's going to demand But then, does that disrupt the dressing room? Will Martinelli demand that kind of money? Will Odegaard demand that kind of money? Will the older players who are not on 350 grand a week say, hold on a minute, I'm a senior player. Excuse me. Why am I nowhere near to what Saka is? Or it could be easy because you're not performing like Saka. And then Martinelli's argument is, but I am. Odegaard's is, but I am.
Yeah,
and then all of a sudden you've got a lot of players on 300. This is what happened to Chelsea a while back. Some players got loads of money, the other players wanted it. That's why Mason Mount wants so much money, and I understand that.
Yeah,
because if Mason Mount can perform same as a Declan Rice who might come in, or they wanted to bring Bellingham in, like every team wants to bring Bellingham in. Bellingham's going to demand 350 to 400,000 a week.
Easily.
So the Mason's going to be, if he's on that much, I want 300.
Yeah.
Do you see what I mean? So you can kind of see that comparison, and then all of a sudden that kind of messes up with the dressing room slightly.
But this is why I mentioned it.
Ridiculous.
This is why I mentioned it in the group, and I feel the same as you. You know, I don't think it's right that he should have been given that sort of money. I get it why they did, and I agree with what you said there as well. With the Man Cities, the PSGs, the Real Madrids, or whatever it is. You know, these sort of big clubs coming in, and I understand that. But at the same time, I hope it's well thought out, because the balance has to be correct. You know, they did it with Ozil, the team went to shit. They did it with Aubameyang, the team went to shit. You know what I mean? They did it with Sanchez. I was just about to say that went to shit. So again, it affects so many different layers of a football club when you offer a young player that sort of money. And like you said, yeah, he's a great guy, great kid, whatever it is, family kid, whatever the hell you want to call it. But 350 grand a week, that changes people quick. And
that's 50 million a year.
50 million a year, and you're not even 25 yet.
And that's before goal bonuses as well.
Yeah,
imagine if he scores whatever his goal bonuses. Let's say going off FIFA would be what, 0, 5, 10, 15%. So let's say he's on 5%. 355% of 350. You know what I mean? Like, you're looking at around 17.5 grand.
Yeah. Quick maths. That's what we do here.
And let's say he gets a hat trick. All of a sudden, his 350 has gone to 380, 380 or 400.
Then all of a sudden, you have to bench him, and he's like, "Wait, what? Yeah. I'm unhappy. I'm unhappy. I need to be sold." And there's someone else. Yeah. Okay. So look, it's a roller coaster ride. That's obviously the worst case scenario.
I hope he doesn't. I hope money doesn't change him. I hope he has a good network around him, because I'm even looking at, from our personal experience, we've gone out to a few clubs, pubs in around the town and the northeast, and we've had those players who've come from the academy in Middlesbrough who you clearly see that one of them you went to school with, and all of a sudden, once he got a little bit of money, he felt untouchable in a small town. Like, so there's no need to mention name, but so we're talking like a little bit from experience where we've seen players change on who have been on from 0 a week to maybe 350 apprenticeship pound. That is not 1,000, £350 to like 7 grand or 5 grand a week, and all of a sudden money's changed them because they feel unstoppable. So again, I don't know. Hopefully Saka doesn't, but yeah,
we're talking 7 grand obviously for these sort of local players, but then you compare that to the 350, and yeah, it can change a person. I genuinely hope it doesn't, but I still don't think
England need him.
Sense. It's a good idea. Yeah, of course, and I think that's probably another reason why obviously his wages. That's why he demanded that much, because like, look, I'm a regular in the England now, so and he's going to be there for a long time. Maybe
he's even doing like he's probably the best player in the Arsenal team. Like a little bit what Kevin De Bruyne did before Haaland came. He didn't hire an agent; he hired a data analyst to kind of look at all the data that and what Kevin De Bruyne does and brings to Man City in terms of stats, running, etc. And then kind of put that on the table and said, "This is why I deserve 400 grand a week."
Is that why De Bruyne keeps running around everywhere?
That's why he goes everywhere. Wow. That's why he runs, just to hit the tactics.
Wait. Sorry. 2 seconds. Wait.
Honestly, he hired a data analyst to kind of look at all the data that De Bruyne does.
And it's just coincidence that he just runs around that much on the pitch and gets that many assists and goals and
stuff. To hit the target, yeah.
Are you kidding me? No, that is, I don't know, you've hit on something there, by the way. If the listeners are more interested in that, let me know in the comments. Because
who needs to have an agent when you've got a data analyst?
That's blown my mind.
And rumours as well, obviously, Haaland is on a crazy amount of money, so he's probably thinking the same. If I'm the best player on this team, we've got Champions League football, I demand a really good salary if you want me to stay. Because listen, he'll get that if he goes to City, or if not more, if he goes to PSG, they'll give him that kind of money. Yeah. But you're right, in a business sense, maybe what they could have done is say, here's 250, and we'll give you 15% for every goal bonus, or 20%, so that it gives more of a sort of incentive to perform better.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. And I really hope that it's not just a base fee that they're giving him for that.
It is 350 a week. It is, like, I'm telling you now, I'm telling you facts right now. It's 15 million a year, full stop. That is the standard salary. The minimum he's going to get this year or next year is 15 million a year, 350 a week minimum.
It just hurts. It hurts. fuck it. Okay, look.
But listen, he's got it. Hey, if he wins you the Champions League, or if he wins you the Premier League next year, who's going to question 350 a week, right?
If we end up eighth, and then it's like,
that's
maybe
a different story. If you don't start performing next year, it's going to become topic of Saka.
Maybe and we shouldn't be giving people 350 grand a week because, again, the curse of the 350 grand a week.
And a Daily Mail is going to pipe up straight away. Young black player did this, but when Sterling and so on did it, this guy did this. Whereas when Foden does it, he bought his mum a house. Shut up, bro. You're an idiot. If you read those newspapers, you're an idiot.
Yeah, that's anyway. We're not holding back. We're not chopping that out either. So get you.
So while we're in Arsenal, then we talked last time about possible players to come to your club to take it to the next step. You had about 4 or 5 players watching the game today. Obviously, Xhaka's leaving. There's rumours he's going to Bayer Leverkusen.
Yes.
So farewell to Xhaka. Well done, I assume. He did well. For you, how are you feeling about that?
I was quite sad actually because it's been such ups and downs with Xhaka throughout his Arsenal career, and it's kind of like invoked different emotions at different stages, and it's kind of like, he's kind of become like part of the family in a way. And obviously the fact that he is Albanian by origin, it's like, okay. So do you know what I mean? It's kind of like that. It's kind of like the cousin that you hated, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, do you know what? You're actually pretty cool, bro. Do you know what I mean? No. You play FIFA as well. That's mint. It's that kind of feeling with Xhaka, and it's quite sad actually, because especially when he was getting applauded at the end and standing ovation, and I don't know.
It's good that it's changed, hasn't it? Because
I agree. I'm glad that it's ended the way it has, and that he's got to choose when to leave rather than being pushed out because of performances or whatever it is, because of fans, which obviously was nearly the case.
It was very close, wasn't it, when he spat at the badge or and with that time that he stormed off the pitch saying,
he was just
this is fucking great.
Provoking the crowd. So I'm glad that it ended the way it has. But obviously, like I said, many ups and downs with Granit Xhaka, the red cards, the yellow cards, the tackles in the box. Obviously, last season he almost like took Jota's head off right at the end. It's come on, man, what the hell are you doing? So, he
plays on a very fine line, doesn't he? Between that aggression and sort of passion.
I'm just happy. Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. Again, he's got that blood in him, so it's.
Sometimes you need that, though, mate. Look, sometimes having a player like Xhaka, other players can feel protected because the other person's not going to bully because Xhaka's not going to leave it. Yeah, big bros there, exactly.
So I think.
So who do you want to see come in then? Who do you want to see come in instead of Xhaka?
The obvious one would be Declan Rice, and I think been reading.
Also, you've gone off Caicedo.
No, I mean, look,
because they're both similar players, aren't they? They're both CDMs.
If we can get them both, that'd be amazing. But I'm going to go with Declan Rice because.
How are you going to play? What formation are you going to play next year if they're both? Because you can't bring him in for.
So this is the thing. It was saying about Caicedo that if Arsenal do bring him in, they're looking to play him on the wing, and I was like, I'm pretty sure that's not what we want.
80 million to play on a different position.
No one's gonna buy that at all. But anyway, I'm going to go with Declan Rice. Yeah, on the left. They were saying on the left, which
instead of who? Martinelli.
Again, if you're going to pay 80 million, you're going to have to start the player. If you know what I mean, because he's not going to stay on the bench for you. So that's again reports. Maybe Daily Mail. Maybe it was a Daily Mail.
Maybe Daily Mail. Probably. Yeah, don't read Daily Mail.
I'm an idiot, bro. You told me I'm stupid. But I think I'm going to go with Declan Rice.
Yeah, I like Declan Rice. I'd like to see Declan Rice at Chelsea as well. He's going to be. I've got a feeling he's not going to come to Chelsea because of how bad we are, and possibly the owners are going to scare a lot of players off.
Yeah,
because I think if we still had Abramovich, Declan Rice would be at Chelsea tomorrow. He'd sign because he's a Chelsea fan. His family are all Chelsea. He got released by Chelsea and he cried and so on and so forth. And I don't think he's going to be like, "Oh, I'm not coming back to you." It's going to be more of a like, "I'd love to play for the club." Personally, anyway, maybe I'm just speaking from my own emotions because I'm a Chelsea fan. But Declan Rice is a fantastic player. Like we trashed him a little bit before. He's not worth 100 million, but he just does the simple stuff so well. And he does that Sergio Busquets. Like I couldn't give him a higher praise comparing him to Busquets of never losing the ball, breaking attacks down. And that's what you want from a CDM. You don't want him to kind of go on this amazing runs. You want him to get the ball, keep it simple, give it to somebody else who's going to run and do stuff. So you need those players. I agree with Declan Rice.
He's definitely the rock of West Ham. And
he's fantastic. He's their best player, easy.
Yeah, no, that's no debate.
But just so you know, if he comes as well, he's going to demand 350. If Saka's on 350, he'll demand close to 350 as well.
This is exactly the issue that obviously we run into again, because that could scare other clubs. Be like, well, if he's getting that, I don't think I can get that sort of money, even though that's what they want. You know, so it just creates problems, and that's why I brought it up on the group. It creates so many problems to give him that sort of wage, salary, whatever you want to call it, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But So the original.
So Declan Rice is one, and who else? And who else?
That we need, without doing any sort of real research into who's actually available out there, by the way, apart from naming Man City players, you know, like Cancelo and Gundogan.
Haaland.
Like, obviously, you know, those are the names that have been brought around, you know,
I heard that,
Gundogan, Cancelo, and it's like, well, okay, that's good. They're good players, no doubt about that. But
Cancelo, I don't like Cancelo. I'll be honest with you. I don't think he's a. Think you need Cancelo.
It's not really a managerial merit. If you're just going to get Man City players or rejects to make a team, all right, you got the first two. It's like, all right, cool. They're decent players. They've actually, obviously, they changed. They improved and changed us. So fair enough. But do we really want to just become a B team for City? You know,
Pete's being a B team to Chelsea.
Well, I mean, fair dues. But you know, I don't really want to go down that route. You know, I want.
We're the B team for City. I feel like looking at Sterling, we're the B team. But yeah, go on. Sorry to interrupt you. Go on.
So I think without obviously naming those two, there's not really much. I don't know who's actually about. To be fair, who can be coming in, and in terms of other leagues, I don't really.
We don't watch much, do we? We'll rely on the scout reports from our own club.
Exactly.
Who cares?
Exactly. You know, we don't really watch the other leagues, so we can't really say that much. But you know, we definitely need obviously, like you said, CDM. We need a right back. We need a left back. We need someone up top, like a different style attacker. Again, who's about?
You're going to need those players, especially if you're playing in so many competitions as well. So I hope Stan opened his book. Yeah. He opened his checkbook and says, "Yes, Mr. Arteta, who do you want?"
It has been reported that obviously, well, this is actually true. I think Arsenal gaining 160 million or something from the Premier League this year for coming up second, which is, you know, fair dues. And I think
160 mil for second.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
That's amazing.
So what's first? I assume 200. And I'm not trying to be funny by saying what's first.
Yeah,
I'm not playing on that anymore.
I think this goes on TV rights as well, you know. So this
and you've been on it quite a bit as well, because it's been okay, that's a fair point. Yeah.
So again, in a way, financially,
that's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money. I mean, that's something that we used to make every season, you know, or close to every season, because we were in the top four, and you know, we're always like there or thereabouts. Obviously, not close enough, you know, Dortmund. but yeah, I think it's been reported that about 200 million is they're willing to spend. But I know you're going to be like, oh, that's a lot. But when you think about it, Declan Rice is going to cost 110 million.
Declan Rice is going to cost you that much. Yeah, I was going to say Declan Rice will cost you that much.
So, you know, who are you going to buy with the rest?
He wants salaries. He's probably going to be 130 million.
Yeah, so it's like
package for Declan.
So it's if it's true, then that would definitely help us. But yeah, we just need squad depth, and which leads us nicely into, like, you know, where the teams can go in the future whilst we're here. It's something that has to happen, not just in you know, in the summer, but in January as well. If you see, like, oh, we're first again or second, and we're quite close on points, get the players.
Get the players.
Get the players.
Because you just never know, do you? Like, you saw this season, Saliba got injured, Tomiyasu got injured. You had nobody to replace.
That's it. And it was,
you brought, no disrespect, is it Rob Holding? Like, Rob Holding. No disrespect to him, but like he was like kind of deadwood, really, like coming in terms of what Saliba was offering and what Tomiyasu was offering. Rob Holding was nowhere near to the scratch.
Even Kivio, in a couple of games, especially the last couple of games, he's been absolutely brilliant. He's been a joy to watch. But again, you can't really, because at that stage it was a very delicate situation, and it's like, do I trust this young defender to go up against the likes of, again, when I say Chelsea, I mean, you know, the name rather than the team.
Don't make me laugh, bro.
Yeah, I don't mean it like that. And you know, I can't take it seriously.
I'm even laughing because I'm pains me. If I don't laugh, I'll cry.
So, like, the team, like Newcastle, for example, they're very physical, and you
quickly change it, you bastard.
I did change it. So it was very delicate, but yeah, invest in the summer, 100%. They have to invest in the summer, like 1 million. If they don't invest in the summer, by the way, then that's it. I'm out. I can't even watch the beautiful game anymore because my brain would be like, where's the logic gone? Yeah. So, you know, they're definitely going to spend in the summer, but again, January, it's very important, as we've seen in the last two seasons.
So who do you want to see leave then? Easy one. Like you said, you didn't see, obviously, a top 5 European leagues, you only know from the Prem and who's available from the Prem. But who do you want to see leave? So, like, who do you think should leave? Rather than going through the whole squad bench, you know, this new game that's kind of making media rounds, stay, bench.
I'm going to go with Rob Holding should definitely leave.
Okay. And this is permanent, like, leaving.
No, permanent. Yeah, permanent.
Yeah.
Tierney, when I say definitely should leave, I don't mean it because I don't want him there, but he will leave in the summer. I know he will because Newcastle will be sniffing around. So
and you'll get some good money for him as well.
Money for Tierney. Yeah, he's a good player, and every time he's come on, he's played well for us. So Tierney definitely going to go. And this, if we can get a replacement, Partey maybe should consider.
So his replacement Declan or Caicedo? Well, not Caicedo. He's playing left, but that's Declan. If Declan comes in, then you replace Partey.
Yeah, replace Partey because he just dipped really, really quick. You know, he was doing well, and then he just dipped really quick. And then again, I personally think the us missing Saliba was a major cause rather than us missing Partey. Do you know what I mean? Like, us missing Saliba has been a major cause for our downfall, and I can easily say that because he has been a great player for us. So I think Partey maybe, because if he's going to have these ups and downs, we don't really have that sort of team where we can carry a Partey, for example. When the whole team's up to scratch and then Partey just decides, I'm not going to have a good game. I'm going to do a flick that's going to bounce to some geezer's chest, and then they're going to go score, and it's like, oh, what happened there? No, it didn't work.
Why did I flick?
Thomas, it didn't work. Okay, go home. So I think with Partey, maybe he should be going, and someone, Fabio Vieira, he should probably go on loan or something like that. But
I was going to say Vieira and Reece Nelson, those kind of players need to go on loan. Emile Smith-Rowe, if he's not playing regularly, probably a loan deal as well.
I'm glad that you said it as well. Emile Smith-Rowe, if he hasn't been used, so far this season, even after his injury, even as a sub, he hasn't even been used. It's like, well, what use will he have right now? And maybe another one that should go. Because go get your game somewhere else. I'm not disrespecting the player.
I think he'll stay and trying to fight for his place, and then by January he'll probably be like, I'm not getting anywhere, so I need to leave.
If he's trained into a different position on the field, then yeah, that's fine. You know what I mean? Keep him for Partey goes, and then you got Declan Rice there and Emile Smith-Rowe, for example. He's changed that position. That's fair enough, but you have to repurpose him, or you have to show us, even him as a player, that you are willing to repurpose him. So far, he hasn't been done that. And another player that should probably consider going, to be honest. Or maybe we should consider selling. So, yeah, but apart from that, everyone else, we just need really like a Reece Nelson. He can do a decent job as a sub at very late on.
Super sub Reece.
Yeah, he can, not even just that goal. He's got speed, he's got energy, and he can cause some
trouble. Yeah, absolutely.
Trouble, especially in the 85th, 87th minute or something. So, yeah, with Arsenal, invest in the summer. This is the going forward part. Invest in the summer. Definitely have to consider, or strongly consider, investing in January if needed, and don't hold back. Like, we're waiting for Vlahovic. We're waiting for Caicedo. What are you talking about? It's 28 days.
Just go.
When people say 1 month, that doesn't mean that it goes in 1 minute. Okay, it's 28 days in between that, or 30 days, 31 days, whatever it is. So you've got all that time to do something. Don't just wait on the last day. And be
surely they haven't waited until now, right? Surely they've started these negotiations and identified who they want from the beginning, so that when the window does open, business can resume swiftly and straight away rather than waiting. Okay, now who do we want? It's not. Surely that thought process doesn't wait for the window to open. That should happen naturally. That probably happened since February or April. Once you say Partey did that flicker, they're thinking, right, who could be a replacement? Tomiyasu got injured. Okay, who can we bring in? Because next year, surely the aim is to go for all the competitions. As an elite team, you should go for all of them.
Yeah.
Which leads me to another question, because I'm sure you've got questions for me as well, is what's the aim for next year then? As an Arsenal fan, what is the aim for next year? Knowing how this year finished and how strongly you got, where you were at, what's the aim?
Okay, knowing how this year finished, I would definitely aim for winning the title. Based on this season alone. Based on the sort of overall 5-year plan that they said at the beginning when they took over, Edu and Arteta.
When was that about? How many years ago was that? 4 years?
That was 4 years ago. So we're getting.
So next year is the 5 years. Okay, so
I think 3 years. I think it's 3 years. Isn't
when did he take over? He took over. He took over before COVID, didn't he? 2019.
2019, yeah. 2019 he took over and then COVID hit. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so 2019.
20, yeah. 19, 20, 21, 22, 22. So yeah, 4 years. So next year, fifth year.
Fifth year, yeah. So it's there you go. I mean, challenging for the title, but we did that this year, so a year earlier. But yeah, next year definitely need to do that. But So overall, that's with where they could be, or where we need to be. Like you said, we definitely have to challenge for the league title, for the Premier League, and then the other trophies go as far as you can. Don't neglect them. As like, no one cares about the EFL Cup, bro. Because look at Man United. They're on the verge of winning 2 cups this season, and they haven't had the best season. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I've got another question, but I think you know what I want to ask you. But think of your answer later for that one.
Yeah, no, that's fine. We didn't bottle it. No, we didn't bottle it.
That's what I was going to ask. Because I was going to
get that on the t-shirt.
So let me rephrase the question differently. Then, so what would be a failure next season? What would be a failed season next season?
Not winning a trophy.
Not winning a trophy.
Not winning a trophy. Yeah, that would be a failed season. Like, so no doubt.
Competing in 4, you should win 1.
You should win 1 at least, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, yeah. I think that's fair. I personally think, definitely win 1. With the squad that you've got, the team that you've got, definitely win 1.
At least, I was going to say, at least 1. Maybe, obviously, because, again, how this season has ended, maybe, we could challenge for an FA Cup, for an EFL Cup. That's fair enough. That's exactly. So, again, this momentum needs to keep up, and the players that are brought in, touch wood. I know, obviously, it sounds crazy, but you never know. We could wait until the end. We could wait until
Todd's got limitless checkbook there. So whoever you want, I'm sure Todd's going to pop in and be like, "Who does Arsenal want? Right, let's get this player, bro. Just go hire the Arsenal scouts. Why are
you trying to do it yourself? Go hire them." So, but again, he's saving himself money with the scouts, and he can spend it on the players.
That's it. Does that? That's it. The extra in salary is giving it extra as a fee.
Rich-minded, man. This is the rich people. This is how they stay rich.
That's why he stays rich. Yeah, use somebody else's resources
for nothing, bro. But so I think with us next season, challenge for the league title, 100%, and at least win 1 trophy. And obviously get the players that we need.
So if you come 3rd or 4th next year, is that
I think
a failure?
That's not good enough. Yeah, I don't think that's good enough because it doesn't
Can't
send
go backwards, right?
It doesn't send the right message to go backwards. And even, I mean, I know the scenarios, but like if it's like a point between teams, 2nd to 4th, for example, then I can't be that mad because, like, all right, look, the other teams obviously were good enough. But we didn't score that 1 more goal. Do you know what I mean? So it's
I get you. Yeah. We should have not drawn that game. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? No, I get you. I think it's important, though. Like you said, winning trophies is important. Like competing in 4, you should win 1.
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of teams competing in it, but like Arsenal should at least aim to win 1. That's the same for Chelsea for me. Trying to win something next year, win something just to bring a winning mentality to the club, even if it's the Carabao Cup, because that mentality breeds within the dressing room. Now you've got winners, you've got the feeling of lifting the silverware, you've got the feeling of fans cheering, celebrating with your bottle, rather than celebrating relegation. We're staying in the Prem, you're celebrating victory, you're celebrating trophy, silverware. So I agree with you. That's a good one. I do think it would be a failure for you though if you finish trophyless and don't get out of the group stages of the Champions League. Do really bad in the league as well, because obviously you've got Champions League, and you're going to end up playing now Tuesday, Wednesday, Saturday, Sunday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Saturday, Sunday. That's you're going to play. You're going to have a lot of games to play in, so you're going to need the players.
We were doing well when we were
and you're going to lose Thomas
Partey
Partey as well too in February. You'll lose him to the African Cup of Nations and whoever else you've got there.
Another reason for a replacement, because again you can't build a team just around one player. So it's going to be an interesting sort of off season and beginning of next season. See how we carry on and what's changed. And you need to add a little bit more variety to the way we play. So, look, I'm going to ask you the same questions for Chelsea, but
shoot away in a different order.
Look, you've got how many players you got in the team, in the squad? Like 30, 35 or something, 36.
We've got enough to have a Chelsea A, Chelsea B, and a Chelsea C.
Yeah, so that's at least 36
with subs.
Okay, all right, that's at least 38 for sure. But
and the rest,
who are you?
The squad's going to be over 40, I'll be honest with you. Like when everybody comes back from loan, so Levi Coley, who went, he's going to be on loan, he's coming back. Lukaku's coming back. We've got players like Nkunku who needs to come in. The boy from Lyon, I forgot his name. I forgot his name. I can't Google it either because it'll take too long to find. The right back from Lyon.
Malo Gusto or something like that. Is that his name? I think it's Malo Gusto or something. Yeah, I think I genuinely thought he was just on the bench for you. I didn't realize that he'd actually gone on loan. But there you go. You've got
No, so he came in, so he bought him from Leon. But like, you've got a lot of players coming in, and there's players obviously who are there. There's already 30 players there, and I've just named you another 3-4 players who are coming in the summer. That's 35 players, bro.
So
Lewis Hall obviously is coming in from the academy, and he deserves to be in the first team. Like, if you go off anything, couple of games that he's played this year, these last couple, and that game against City away, he looks confident on the ball. He looks assertive. He knows he's happy with his decisions, and that's all you can ask from a player.
Yeah, especially that age as well.
Ballsy and make that decision, and then own the decision, whether it's right or wrong. You need to own it and learn from it if it's wrong.
I'll do that again.
And Lewis Hall seems to do that at a young age. He seems to have a mature head on him. So yeah, he's a fantastic player. So he needs to stay. But we need a massive clear up. We need to clear the deadwood. We need to clear players who kind of not performing, who are not playing for the shirt. And it's hard to say play for the shirt because there's 36 of them who are on like ridiculous salaries and and making that connection with the club. This only comes with winning.
We're not talking about the model of Chelsea.
If they win, you start to make the connection with the club. You start to make the connection with the fans, the owners. But again, the owner's only been there. The owner's fresh himself. The owner's new himself.
Yeah, he's
only been there since
the actual sport.
That's it. Full stop. Actually. Never mind to the club, to the game,
sport, he's brand new.
And I think he's realised he's fucked up. Like, you can't apply that American model to English football or to any European football. So we've messed up on that massively, and it's really, really hurt us. But Koulibaly's not been the signing we thought he was. Cucurella's not been the signing we thought he was. Raheem Sterling's not been the signing that we thought he was. Mudrik's not been the signing that we thought he was. Okay, he's young, he's got potential. Okay, we'll give him another year. Who else is not? The players that were there came back from loan because obviously Loftus-Cheek was at Fulham and then came back, or wherever he was on loan. He's not been the signing that like player that we expecting him to be. Ruben Loftus-Cheek
for a long time.
But for a long time, exactly. We've been waiting on him to do something. He hasn't done it.
Still waiting, bro. Still waiting.
Mason Mount, obviously, we said he's going to leave. Conor Gallagher's not been the player that we're expecting him to be when he came back from. It was obvious. I think a lot of Chelsea fans and real football fans could see Conor Gallagher at Palace and be like, yeah, he's very good.
Yeah, but we said
for a 7, 8, 9, 10 position team, not at the top. Just like you said about Ramsey.
I've been saying this. I've been saying this about Gallagher for a very long time.
Exactly, and
it's just one of those.
But we need one key sign that we need to do is a doctor and a physio that can keep the players fit, and if they get injured, to bring them back as soon as possible. Because N'Golo Kante has been for so long, he's been out and he's been missed, and also hopefully the manager plays him in the position that he's to be played. The position that he's meant to play. He won the league back to back with 2 different teams.
Yeah.
And both times he was a key player for those teams.
In that one position.
It's insane. I don't understand how these managers come in and be like, no, he's going to be my attacking midfielder. Like, what?
It's mad.
This is Lampard against Real. But anyway, to answer your question, who's going to leave? 30% of the team need to leave. I can rattle them through. Well, I just did, really.
Yeah, you did,
Those players need to go.
Those are the main
ones. Who do I want to come, like yourself? Declan Rice, I'd like to see him. Obviously, I'd like to see Jude Bellingham.
Are you still wanting players in?
Yeah, because these players leaving, like, I need players in. Need players who can perform. Bad business. Bad business is bad business. You need to take it on the chin and move on.
I think he's learned his lesson. Well, hopefully he's learned his lesson.
You like to think so. Hopefully he's learned 600 million. You like to think he's learned his lesson.
It's an expensive lesson to learn for sure. Like, and I ain't paying for no school.
That ain't me.
For that, I'll tell you right now. If I'm not getting a jet at the end of it, do you know what I mean? Like, come on now. You ended up with what's his name? Gulamasto or something. What's his name? Malo Gusto.
I have no idea. Come on now. Yeah, that's it.
That's not a real name. I'm sorry, but anyway.
Well, if he performs well, he's going to come in, by the way. And what was I going to say? He's going to play for second to Reece James, maybe.
Yeah.
And then is he going to? You've got to be careful in the players you bring in, because if these guys are regular for your team, they're not going to come to sit on the bench. Same as I said to you with Caicedo. If he's 80 million and you try to play him on the left, he wants to play for 80 million, bro.
Yeah, doesn't matter where he plays. To be fair, he just wants to play for 80 million. Exactly. He's not going to sit on the bench.
But yeah, so to bring players in, definitely we need, because Kovac for me has done it, past it. He needs to leave. Pulisic needs to leave. Yeah. Pulisic has not been the player that he did. He had maybe one decent season or half a season.
He was not Hazard, was he?
He wasn't. Yeah, it cost us 70 million. He was going to be our Hazard. But listen, nobody could be Hazard. What Hazard brought to Chelsea, it was incredible. I feel sorry for him, by the way, quickly on Hazard. Like at Madrid, it just hasn't worked out. Injury after injury and booed by your own fans. But at Chelsea, he was God. He was amazing. Hazard, nobody could do what Hazard did. He was incredible. And
I think to be classed as a true footballing great, you need to make it at Real or Barca.
No, you have to win the Champions League, don't you? You have to win Champions Leagues. You have to consecutively win the Champions League and so on. And you're right, with Barca and so on, because they're the two biggest clubs in the world with Man United, you know, our three biggest clubs in the world with United. It's kind of like you have to be there and you have to make it. And unfortunately for him, with injuries, he hasn't. But
it's a shame. It really is a shame.
It's sad. Yeah, it's really sad. But yeah, Pulisic out, Sterling out. Who else is a wing? Aubameyang definitely out.
Oh yeah.
Conor Gallagher, Mason Mount is going. I don't want to see him leave, but yeah, he's going. Koulibaly out, Cucurella out, Trevor Chalobah again, not performing. Yeah, he's had a couple of seasons now. He's not doing it at the top level. Go. Ruben Loftus-Cheek, see ya. Dave Azpilicueta, maybe stay and have more of a kind of like a chat, but in the dressing room, but really not so much on the pitch.
No, you can't be
not doing much on the pitch. Hakim Ziyech, he needs to go as well. Thiago Silva's like 45 now, so I suppose he needs to stay. Havertz, I'm willing to give him one more season. Simply because of the goal he scored in the Champions League and brought us that victory, and he did well in those games. When he got given opportunities, he did well. I like to see what maybe a manager with ideas, with a coaching ability, as simple as that. What can he do? Who can actually coach a team to see what he can do with Havertz. But what's Havertz going to play? If Lukaku's coming, Nguku wants to play on the wing, so he'll probably replace one of the wingers. But there's so many wingers. Okay, let's give Modric again. Let's give Modric another season before we send him out on loan somewhere and just cut our losses with him. He needs to be somewhere else. But again, if what's his name comes, Pochettino, not if he comes in, he's in. But if Pochettino can play some sort of attacking football and like high pressing football, I feel like that suits Mudryk when he's quickly get the ball on that sort of transition phase at the top, and then he's quickly attack. Exactly, that's it. He's so quick.
Yeah, he can only turn right at the very top,
at the very peak.
So the engine has to start with
it. It has to be
there.
It has to be on DRS. If it's not DRS, he's not performing.
So he has to be at that 1 second.
I'm hoping the manager can do that, and if the manager can bring that, you know what I mean. Like, luckily, then you'd be like, oh, bargain of the season or bargain of whatever. If he can win his trophies and start scoring crazy goals, I can't see it yet. But yeah, all this is ifs and buts. But no, Declan Rice has to come in. We need Declan Rice and a couple that Levi Colwill. He's coming in, so he needs to play as well. He's done well. He's performing well.
Yeah.
Lewis Hall needs to start, or not start because Chilwell's there, but at least
be a bit more
start playing
regular,
some games, be more of a regular to it. I'm just hoping to see players play in their positions, and I'm hoping to see like 11 players play regularly. No injuries, but that's all good and what's the word? Good and well saying it, or whatever that phrase is.
You've named like almost a full 11 of players who should be going. Yeah. Which 100%. Again, if it's something that Chelsea can manage to do, then that would be incredible. To get
that would be good business if they can do that. It'll be good business. But realistically, I can't see it happening because those players aren't
doesn't really matter
contracts.
What you sell them. Yeah, that's a good point.
No, but we have to be careful what we sell them as well, because this is the financial fair play slaps you in the bum.
The older guys like the Azpilicuetas come on, you're not going to demand.
No, Azpilicueta, we don't mind anything for him. Like, even if he leaves for free, I think he's merited now. Like he's been there, a custodian for the club for so long. He's been really good. Like, even if he says I want to go to Arsenal, just like let him go to Arsenal, or wants to go to Tottenham because he wants to stay with his family. Yeah, he's got that right to leave, just like Czech did and William did before. You know what I mean? They've served the club well. But what I'm talking about, the Koulibaly, the Cucurella cost 60 million. He's young. He'll be on about 200, 150, 200 on the season that they've performed today. Never mind that. Let's go to Raheem Sterling. Raheem Sterling's on 350 grand a week. At his age, who wants to buy Raheem Sterling on the performance that he's given? You know what I mean? And then you add the rest to it. You add Cucurella, you add Koulibaly, as I mentioned, Ruben Loftus-Cheek, Conor Gallagher. We need to get these guys off, but we need to receive some money for them so that we can kind of balance the books for financial fair play.
Yeah, like
otherwise,
the for example, he should be, there's someone that you could get some half decent money for, like nothing great, but
he hasn't performed. That's the thing. Like, who's going to pay that?
Come on, you can at least get like 12 to 15 million for a Ziyech.
Yeah, but we don't need a 12, 15. We need like a 35 for a Ziyech.
Come on,
exactly. That's what I mean. So 12, 15. You're right.
But look,
we'll get 12, 15, but
sometimes
35.
Sometimes when the players aren't performing, and you've got that many players that aren't performing, that's what I'm saying. Sometimes it doesn't really matter how much you sell them for, as long as
just get something. Yeah.
Look, again, maybe you have to go through another season where you're inside the top 10, but you're nowhere near the top 4, just to build that sort of the next team along. after getting rid of all this deadwood right now. So sometimes it's worth it if the plan is clear. That's why we had the 5-year plan or whatever the hell it was.
Yeah.
In a way, it was clear. We saw what was happening. The older players were going, the Aubameyangs. We saw okay, you're on that much money, but I don't give a shit about if you're the captain or not. I'll get rid of you.
Yeah, you're saying.
And again, that changed the mentality of the team. It's like, oh, we got rid of our captain who was making that much money, and he got rid of him just like that.
Yeah, that's what you need. You need the manager to have the main voice, don't you? That's it. And I don't think Todd is allowed the managers to have the main voice. I think Todd Bowley is trying to be the main voice, and the main, that doesn't work, as I mentioned earlier.
You're watching Ted
but
Lasso,
I'm hoping Pochettino, yeah, that's it, literally. But I'm hoping Pochettino comes in and he is allowed, not so much that he doesn't want to, I'm sure he'll want to have the final say, but he's allowed to have the final say. And he can sort of start cutting the team. Even like you say, even if Aziz goes for 8 million, 12 million, okay, get rid, just let him go play football and obviously make some money back, get him off the wage bill. Cucurella cost us 60. If you can get him for 30, 40, I'm sure they won't, but like 30, 40 million, get rid of him as well. Do you know what I mean? Unless Pochettino comes in and whispers some sweet Spanish nothings in his ears, and all of a sudden he turns into an absolute great player that we saw at Brighton. Then yeah, by all means, like that we'd love. I don't want to get rid of any players if they can perform for Chelsea, but from basically what we've seen, those are the players that need to leave.
Yeah, especially based on the season, which is a bit unfair to say, but that's what we're basing it on because that's what we just watched. You're only as good as in last season, right? So
that's it. Nobody remembers the years before.
No, definitely not. It's been a crazy year for obviously if you're a Chelsea fan, and as a club, it's just hard, such a tough year. Like to the point where even where sort of like when you're watching someone like on TV, for example. Like, the hero beating the bad guy, and like, oh, all right, that's enough now.
That's enough now, bro. Like, relax.
Come on now. So I think that's what the Premier League brought Chelsea this season, just pain.
A whooping. A real whooping.
A candy ass whooping, bro. That's what they did. They opened a candy ass. What is it? No, they opened the what? What is it?
Rock used to say that. Kind of ass whooping. Yeah, not candy, because there's no candy in that whooping.
The candy ass. Yeah, that's... you feel smell. Okay.
Now, for me, like what was hard is having no hope that we're going to do anything. That is the hardest thing to watch. And I know you talked about the 5-year plan for Arsenal, but like you say, you guys could see something happening. Okay, you just missed out on the Champions League last year.
Like that.
And you got rid of the deadwood, you got rid of the troublemakers, you got rid of the high earners. But then slowly you could see performances happening on the pitch. And like, do you know what? If you do something, and that's what was happening with Chelsea under Potter, or if we have a striker, or even under, what's his name, Thomas Tuchel, but then we didn't buy strikers. We ended up buying defenders and midfielders, and you think like, why? Anyway, go listen back to previous episodes on that. But what I'm trying to say is, But this year we haven't seen anything to suggest, okay, we're heading in this direction. This is our style of football. We play in high intensity. We're playing counter-attacking football. We're playing possessional football. We're not. I don't even know what we're doing. We just turn it up and playing. Or making up the numbers. I can't even say playing to it. Like the best performance that I've seen Chelsea do was that 3-1 win.
Yeah, you use the word playing loosely. Yeah.
Definitely. But the best performance I've seen was Chelsea win 3-1 at Leicester. And we've played some huge games. We've played in derbies. We've played in recent derbies of like rivals matches against Liverpool, against Man United, like recent rivalries, and obviously the rivalry of London teams. But yeah, every time we played, I feel like, okay, we're going to get beat. Same as today, watching Newcastle, Chelsea, I was like, oh, we're probably going to lose this game because Newcastle are much better than us. And I think about like since Lampard come in, we've only won one game, and that was Bournemouth away. We haven't won any other game since Lampard came in.
No, it's
awful. This is the worst finish we've had in Chelsea history.
Since the 1st of April, like you've got 1 point. By the way, you've earned 1 point since the 1st of April.
No, we've won more than that because you bought Bournemouth 3-1.
And you've had three managers changing.
Yeah, maybe that one. Yeah, I saw that meme as well. I saw that you shared that. And we're a laughing stock for that. Yeah, think about it, like 3 managers to gain 1 point in April.
And here we go. And obviously you probably know this already because it has been shared in the group. But for the listeners out there, Chelsea have actually got the highest wage bill at 216 million.
I shared that, didn't I? I shared that with you guys. And this is why I said, like, why would anybody want to leave there? Coming to West London, living in the capital city in England, they're thinking obviously all the best stuff, the life, etc., so on. And they're making tons and tons of money for doing absolutely sweet fuck all. Absolutely nothing on the pitch.
Yeah.
They give it, like, you watch Chelsea play and you think to yourself, actually, I feel sorry for these fans now. Like, can you give the fans something to cheer about?
Something, again, it goes back to the whole beat, and it's, that's enough now.
Yeah, it's just insane.
It's sad. It's sad to see. Whilst the family's there, you're getting beat whilst the family's there, isn't it? So
that's literally it. Yeah, and I just can't believe it. And they all then come out and say stuff like, "Oh, we'll try again next week." And this is what I was afraid. And I'm not saying this because you're an Arsenal fan and trying to twist it, but like, this is what Arsenal would do when you had like Arshavin and what was the Polish guy, Roscoe, the Yag, I forgot his name, right boy. Rosicki, and so on and so forth. And the year started, and then Mkhitaryan came in and so on, and everybody stopped going onto Twitter. Oh, tough loss to take. That we'll try again next week. And I'm thinking, I don't need you to get onto Twitter, bro. Get on the training pitch and show me it was a tough loss.
Show me that you're actually.
And this is what's happening with Chelsea now. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just words. There's no performance, and it's hard to take.
We've said it in the group, and we've said it on the podcast as well on different episodes for sure. That it's something that I've lived through. As an Arsenal fan, been through this. It's almost natural,
But there is a positive. I watched the podcast with Kieran Trippier on it. They were talking about Pochettino, and apparently he makes them run. He makes them run. Kieran Trippier said, and this is paraphrasing here, but it went along the lines of, I was in Cancun, I thought I was in pretty good shape, I stayed in shape, I did lots of running, lots of training. I came back, and then I was in the fat club because I wasn't fit enough. So that was a shock for me because I came back to Tottenham with Poch there, and he said I was in the fat club, so I had to get my fitness levels right up. So if they can get their fitness, because we've been run off the park, and this is what's needed. We need a manager who comes in and says, my way or the highway. And I really hope the owner sticks with him. If Poch has got a 4-year plan, just stick with him because he clearly can't get any worse.
Yeah, that's the key, definitely, and I agree with you.
If we can run and we can do that, we'll be fine. Like I feel like we'll be fine. We'll win. Okay, run and then put the ball in the net. Not like they did against Man United, where they had chances.
It's a goal. I know you're a Chelsea fan. You don't know what that is, but it's a goal.
No, I do know what that is. I'm starting to forget this year, but I do know what that is.
My point, exactly.
But no, that's what we need. So obviously, that's the positive with him coming in, get the players much fitter and get them to run. Because that's, as you know yourself, as football fans, the bare minimum we expect someone to do is run on the pitch.
That's it.
Give you 100%.
Yeah, you should be running. I can't believe that you need to be told by someone else that you should be running in this game.
Yeah. But go on, what's your other questions?
No, I think with other questions then, I mean, okay, so next season, based on this season, what's realistically, what do you want to...
Realistically, the aim is, and it should always be the aim, it should be to win the league. Realistically, that should be straight in, right? We're playing once every week.
We're talking based on the season, all right?
I know. Well, based on the season, is trying to finish 10th, finish top half of the table. No, joke. Like, top 4, like, it can't be anything less than top 4. With the amount you've spent, and you're bringing a manager in who's going to have a full pre-season with him, is going to have the whole time with him, it's going to have 2 transfer windows with the team. Okay, it might need more than 2 to try and sort this team out. But it's got to be Europe again. Chelsea belong in Tuesday, Wednesday night football. They do not belong not playing midweek or playing Thursday night like another team.
I was going to say, but what if, right? Quality rebuild. He's had the 2 windows, summer and January. By the end of next season, he's quality rebuild. You know where you're going the season after, but you end up getting Europa League. What do you think?
A step in the right direction, but for me personally, I still think like top 4 minimum next year has to be. You're playing once a week. You're playing against a Liverpool team who are going to be playing Thursday night. So we're competing against Liverpool. Yeah, they're going to play Thursday night, Sunday night. That's 3 games every week once they're playing. You're competing against an Arsenal team, Man City, Newcastle, and what's the other one? Man United, who are playing twice a week minimum. We're playing once a week. There is no need for us not to have more points than some of those teams that I just mentioned when we're playing once a week, and you've got the full week to prepare tactically. Do you know what I mean?
That's a fair point.
You guys, and the squad that we've got, like we're talking about squad depth. Look at our squad, bro. Like we've got a squad depth to change every game to put a different 11 on.
Yeah, I know, but if they're not that good, then
No, that's it. I know, but I'm saying, and the players are still coming in. Like Unguku finished top scorer in the German league. I know that means nothing. We had Timo Werner, but I miss Timo Werner. What Werner offered is nothing to what we have right now.
He missed a lot, but he offered it.
He ran, bro. He ran. No, he ran. He created space. But anyway,
he would have been taken to the dark side of not running.
Top 4 because of that, because of what I just mentioned to you. And I can't see Liverpool getting any stronger this year. I know they're going to talk about bringing McAllister in. I know they're going to talk about bringing so on. I think the only player they'll bring is probably McAllister and nobody else. I can't see them bringing Mason Mount in and paying 300,000 a week.
No,
their midfield lets them down. I think
with
defensively they've been found out.
Because with Liverpool, they've been a team where it's like, well, you don't really invest throughout the years, and you kind of have this sort of like 1 to 2 good season, like great seasons, and you think, oh, brilliant, like 2005 Champions League, they won that, great, whatever. But after that,
and then nothing.
What happened after
major
that?
Anyway.
Yeah, exactly, nothing happened after that. So I'm afraid that
they won the Champions League in 2017, but what's that, 12 years before you win something huge like a league or a Champions League again?
Yeah, no, I'm saying, like, ever since that Champions League, nothing really was it. There wasn't really anything between.
Nobody considered Liverpool a danger, did they?
Not really. And obviously, apart from an Arsenal team, which we get beat there because that's what we do at Anfield. But so with Liverpool, I'm just afraid that if they don't invest, like, wisely, they invest wisely, but if they don't invest more, because they need to rebuild, like, believe it or not, they have an aging squad. So, it's not
aging squad, players leaving. That midfield is awful. That midfield is not a winning midfield when you look at the other teams. Like, it's on paper, it may sound good, but then you've got, Fabinho's been awful this year. Yeah. Awful. And I say that out loud. Hendo's not been himself. No, and then who else is there? Like, the young kids like Jones or Elliott. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Milner.
They've had a couple of good games, Curtis Jones and Elliott, but that's pretty much it.
That's it. And look at the injuries that they've got. This is why I'm saying Chelsea need to finish top 4 next year, because they're playing once a week. They're going to have a top manager in. Oh, okay, not manager, that's not one anything, but let's say top, not elite.
Maybe top coach.
Until he wins something. Manager, right? Yeah, top coach. Let's say. But manager, if he's given the time to or voice his opinion, I'm sure he'll be a good manager as well, rather than be a yes man. But he's a good coach. They're all making us believe, or led to believe, he's this amazing coach for young players. So yeah, man, minimum top 4, because Liverpool, they're not going to invest big. They're not going to have the squad depth. They're going to travel to somewhere in Eastern Europe on a Thursday night, come back.
Yeah.
Late night, ready to play Sunday night. There's 2 days to prepare tactically. Chelsea will have 7 days or 6 days minimum from week to week or game to game. So yeah, Tottenham, I can't see Tottenham doing anything neither. Like, no disrespect to Tottenham fans. As long as Daniel Levy's there, like Jose Mourinho said, Tottenham is the only club that I don't feel any affection to or like any connection with, because Mr. Levy took me off so that I don't win a title or a trophy there. And you know what I mean? Tottenham are nothing. Tottenham are Tottenham.
Yeah, Tottenham. Let's not even talk about that disease.
That's it.
But, I think, look, obviously the season has been, whatever it has been, and we've been through it, so we don't need to discuss that anymore. That's one in the bag, my friend. That's one in the bag. I don't really have anything more to add on the football, on the season.
No.
Nothing new that we haven't discussed already. Obviously, the stuff that, how we move forward, players that we like to see, but we're going to have more of those because there's going to be transfers. So maybe we can have, obviously, some transfer updates.
Yeah, we'll have stuff. I think
how we do.
A fortnight or something, maybe, now that the football's finished. Like, exactly. When F1 comes on, we'll have a chat about some gossips and stuff that was being thrown around in the papers.
Good chat, by the way. F1, good chat. Real quick on F1. I'm not, again, because the race itself was just...
I didn't watch it, I'll be honest with you. I didn't watch it because I don't like Monte Carlo.
It was so...
It's not a race.
Boring, and then it started raining, and then everyone started slipping around. It was hilarious to watch, but Max Verstappen won. Spoiler, by the way. Spoiler.
Yeah. Did he?
Yeah, really? But I just want to talk about Ferrari. Just give me 1 minute to say how fucking disappointing that team is from top to bottom. Just the decision making, I think they're just made by fucking drunks. And I'm swearing.
I saw the thing you posted on Instagram.
It just hurts. Yeah, I'm swearing a lot. And I do apologize because I don't want to, and we don't really swear that much here. We do add
when we're venting, eh? When we're venting.
They are just awful team. And I feel sorry for Fred Vassar because I just don't think he's going to last there. With the race engineer that he's got beside him and the people above him or next to him, the strategists, they just need to be sacked because the lack of any direction is disgusting to watch. It's beyond. It's like to the point where someone has bribed them to be that bad. That's how bad these guys have been.
Todd Bowley's good at taking over teams and sacking everybody.
Excellent.
So
at least to spend some money to bring like another driver in.
Maybe.
But I just I like Carlos Sainz, but to sort of race around in a Ferrari the way that he has been this season, because last season he had some good moments and stuff like that, he won, but this season it's like, come on, Carlos, how are you do not have a handle of this car yet? And again, don't even get me started on Charles Leclerc, because just every time I speak about that guy, it makes me want to poke my own eyes and ears.
Where did he finish, by the way? Because Monte Carlo's his home race. So where did he?
Who cares? Who gives a shit? I stopped looking below third because it was just not worth it. And yeah, Charles Leclerc, it's like he doesn't even know how to race when he's not like first, for example. He doesn't even know how to race to overtake people.
He doesn't know how to chase, eh?
He's such an overrated driver, and I genuinely hope that after this season, because obviously they're not going to win anything.
I think I'll be honest with you, like I saw what he could do. He had the potential, but then he's got that look as well, like can be a poster boy, like kind of that Ferrari driver, the pretty boy, the model look.
Yeah,
but as a driver itself,
it's
not what you wanted. Yeah, exactly. I know what you mean. But can I just say one thing that I did watch? Obviously, me just put my 2 pence in F1.
Yeah, go for it.
Was how sorry I felt for Alonso on qualifying, where he got top, and then how happy the Aston Martin team got, and just to be taken away by Max Verstappen like that. I was so annoyed.
I was so annoyed. It was It was the last 2 corners.
Yeah, last 2 corners. I was so annoyed.
And came straight down, obviously down the straight, and it's like, how did you make up that much time?
Roids, bro. I'm telling you, steroids. It's cheat.
Literally.
Somebody get him to piss in a cup.
They're pouring Red Bull, actual bull semen.
Yeah, that's it. There's
the actual engine. That's what's happening. Expensive stuff, you know what I mean? But no,
I sort of felt bad for that. I felt, honestly. Where did Alonso finish in the end?
He finished second, and by the end of it was 27, nearly 28 seconds behind.
Wow.
Yeah, look, once you take first and you've got a good car.
That's it, yeah. Monte Carlo, that's what it's about. Qualified and then just good strategies throughout.
I just feel like, with the rain, it obviously, perked up the race a little bit, but I'll be honest with you, Ocon is probably the only standout one that I would say he finished third. He finished on the podium.
Oh, wow. Ocon third.
So, yeah.
Is that Alpine Ocon? Yeah, Alpine, the French driver.
Yeah, that's it. So
well done, Ocon. Love that. Because a couple of years ago, he had no seat.
Yeah, and there you go. Obviously,
and then look where he's at.
So third, he did really well, and he still managed to hold it. Hamilton fourth, Russell fifth. It was good enough, and then Leclerc sixth. But who gives a shit? So
clearly, you do, bro.
No, I don't, mate. I don't. I just want to rip his face off. No, I really don't. No, Hamilton and obviously with Mercedes, real quick, they had some changes to the car. They've actually put some side pods on the car now,
right?
But because before I don't know if you noticed, but they sort of didn't have a side pod. It just sort of looked like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean, from the top.
Yeah, I don't know what guy's doing. My guy's making peaches with his hands.
You know how it is. You know what I'm talking about. If you think of the Mercedes car, you know what I'm trying to mime. You know what I'm trying to mime. But yeah, they brought some iPods, but obviously not the right race to test them because it's Monte Carlo, for God's sake. You can't really.
So where's the next race?
I think the next race is in Spain. So we've got Spain in a week's time, I believe. I believe it's a week's time. So it's
Monte Carlo.
I think the season's pretty much over.
Friday the 2nd, Spanish Grand Prix, then Canadian, then Austrian.
Yeah, a couple of weeks after that. So, yeah, I think Spain's probably going to be a good one because it's an actual track. We get to see the full potential of the new Mercedes. See another way on how Ferrari can fuck up.
I'm really hoping for some challenges. I'm hoping that Max for entertainment, just because at the minute it just seems the only entertainment seems to come from Chico and Max if they're racing, and you think to yourself they're not going to race usually, either they're going to keep their drivers 1-2 throughout the whole time.
Even in this race, and Checo ended up last, and it still gave us more entertainment than the Ferraris did.
Yeah,
so, Checo had 5 stops or some shit like that.
It's a difficult race, this one. I think this race is just historical race, and obviously when the cars were smaller, not as wide, you could do some overtaking. But now the cars are nearly 2 meters wide.
Yeah, it's
just in the narrow streets of Monte Carlo. It's just because it's a historic race and it's what it represents and so on. It's more of, it's not for me. It's not. That's why I didn't watch it. I watched a little bit of the qualifying highlights and I saw the whole. And I even watched Q3 of the highlights. I kind of fast forward to Q3. I wasn't really interested on the rest. I was happy for Alonso, and then I was like, damn you, Max, again. But and then the race itself, I was like, well, if Max is first, Max is one. There's no point. It's become the F1 at the minute with Max Verstappen. It's like knowing that Chelsea are going to draw or lose. I get that disappointment. It's the same thing here. I'm like, I'm not going to be entertained, so I'm not going to waste my time.
Yeah, it's just that's what the season's become. And I'll be honest with you, the only thing that could save this season if a scandal broke out that Red Bull are actually using bull semen. No, sorry. No,
can you imagine if the Daily Mail would be all over that?
Yeah, I mean, come to Red Bull.
Nice to see we did that. Come to Red Bull. I like that play of words. Love that.
Yeah, I think that's probably the only thing that's going to save this season, and I don't think that's going to happen because I think that they're just doing it by the book. And I don't know how they're doing it by the book and doing it so well.
They're doing it,
well. These Austrians, man. God, who would have thought these Austrians taking over the world?
Drive to Survive next year.
Austrians taking over the world. Who would have thought, right?
Yeah. Yes.
But
see my guy to do.
Hey, I'll be all right. Apart from we won't be in 5 minutes.
Well,
we'll
very
soon. We'll be up in 5 minutes.
No, but anything else, my man? Anything else to
genuinely,
add?
That's it for me. Obviously, we're gonna talk some more F1 because that's the only sport out there.
We'll talk F1 and we'll touch on other sports as well. Obviously, what's happening.
See what's out there. Yeah,
yeah, especially a little bit of NBA now because LeBron James has come out saying he wants to play until he plays with his son.
Oh wow!
So that's going to be pretty historic. Father and son on the same court.
That's pretty decent to be fair. You know what? That's fair enough. Yeah, we'll get a little
bit of basketball in there, a bit of NBA stuff, and possibly NFL once it starts again. See what's happening.
Yes, we'll embarrass ourselves on the rules that we.
For me, I'll be honest with you, I don't know the rules. I know a little bit of the rules. Obviously, we watch the Super Bowl now and again, but then it's kind of like on a Sunday night and school night the next day. I've got to get up to work. And I don't understand why it's 4 hours.
I get the first downs, I get the tens, I get all the seconds and the thirds, I get all of that stuff. But it's like, why is there so many stoppages? Anyway, these are
the stoppage is crazy that will last. No, but the thing is, it's crazy though, isn't it? Somebody proposed an NFL style in football, but the game would be on for 4 hours. It's a 1 hour match, like 4 quarters of 15 minutes.
There's only for that,
and it goes on for 4 hours, and the clock seems to stop all the time.
Yeah, it's like
apart from the last 20 seconds, then they're like, "Oh no, they just keep going. Don't stop the clock unless you run the ball out of bounds."
You've got first down. Why do we need to go to commercial? Why don't we just carry on with second down and third? And then after all those, once the ball switches to the other team, then you can go to commercial.
Let's just keep going. Like halfway through. That's it.
At least make it 10 yards.
But what I do love the Americans. Very quickly, we'll touch on this soon as well. Is when they come kind of and analyze the game, and they talk about somebody who he had porridge when he was 7. There's a reason possibly why he can reach 7 foot high on his jumps than the other guy who had just Weetabix and whose grandma drove this sedan car. And I'm thinking to yourself, bro, what's that got to do with the game, bro? That's got nothing to do with the game.
Too statistical with stats that no one gives a shit about. So
no one cares. No one cares. Just tell me what he did last week. Did he get any points last week or not?
That's it. Yeah, look, I've got nothing else to add.
Me too. But listen, send us out. So I brought us in. Send us out. It's the last one on footy, week 38. So send us out. Come on, give us that.
That's what we call this.
Give us that. What's it called? Give us that safe and alert. Give us that.
Yeah, we'll get to it. I'll chop it out. I'll chop this bit out. Chop it out. Spoilers. But no, thank you so much for listening. And obviously, we'll be here, once a week, once every 2 weeks, depends on how we're feeling. If you want us to do more, if you want to hear more from us, then please send in some topics. Then we can do that. We can do shorter.
We can do that around, bro. We can do different things. Yeah, talk about what we're watching. Let's just have a chat. We'll meet up next week and have a chat.
Do you know what? We'll maybe think of some rebranding in terms of podcast names and stuff, and we'll come back stronger next season.
I'm due to come up north on Wednesday. If you're not at work, and obviously I'll meet you at that coffee shop, and then we can maybe brainstorm some ideas.
Love it.
Over a flat white or a latte.
Yes, definitely.
Yes,
definitely one of those.
Yes.
Definitely one of those.
Is that what you're doing? You were drinking coffee?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm pouring it in from a distance.
Steady on, pal. It's hot. It's hot.
That's my tongue. It's frappe. But all right, cool. No, thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll catch you on the next one. Stay safe. Stay alert.
Love that. Peace.